Hello everyone and welcome to Universal Woo Woo. I'm Joanne Bennett.
And I'm Roger Baines. And this is the show where we discuss how situations and things affect your life, your world, and your universe. Hello everyone and welcome to Universal Boo Boo. I'm Roger Baines and my partner Joanne is off working on our next project. So today we're just going to be dealing with this handy dandy chart that we have here. And of course my pointer, we're high tech here at Universal Boo Boo, as you might have guessed. That's right, my nice chart here. Hopefully you can understand what is known as chicken scratch writing. Because as I said, we're high tech. And of course, hey, nothing better than a high tech chopstick to go along with this little presentation. Anyway, look, give us a like. It's how we can help people, because the YouTube algorithm will then look at that as a nice little bonus. And that's how our videos are able to reach many. So smash on that like. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Smash on the like, and just also remember that we bring our videos out once a week, preferably every Friday. We're a little bit off because of the holidays, but we're back on schedule. Now, today this video is going to be about, it's going to be a little follow-up on the survival video that was made like about a month ago. It's just a few videos before this one. Now look, you want to check that video out. You can actually see this, get a lot from it, but you'll maximize what you'll get from it by watching the survival video. And the reason why I'm doing a follow-up, I did not intend on doing it. We were both talking to friends of ours, Joanne and I, and she made a point, and I thought, you know what? A lot of people might get a little confused by us saying you should never choose survival. Because her point was, and I'll paraphrase, her point was, what if something happens and, you know, and somebody has to go down to the local grocery store and sift through the garbage to see if there's leftover food? You're going to tell me that they shouldn't do that? And I thought it was a little bit out there, but I said, you know what? It's not. Because if it's a thought in one person's mind, it's probably a thought in many other thousands of people's minds. So it's not that so far-fetched, you know? So I wanted to clear a little bit of that video up and also shed more light. And because I did a bit of research, it actually gave me an opportunity to even enhance that first presentation. So to clarify everything and to bring more light on this, why we should not dwell in survival mode, I created this nice little chart. Now, it's pretty crude. You might not be able to understand my handwriting, but that's not a problem, because if you go to the internet, the interwebs, and you just look up Maslow hierarchy of needs in any of the search engines that have an images, that you put that up, you go to images, you see this chart will be nice and clear, and you could look at it there. This chart was created by a psychologist, an American psychologist by the name of Abraham Maslow, and it's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And it perfectly explains how the human condition should progress in each of us. Each of us. And what we're actually here to do, if you extend that out to why you're here. So a lot of people have the question, why was I born? Why am I here? Well, I'm going to clear that up today, and I'm going to use this chart as a means of doing so. So let's just get started. Remember, give us a like, subscribe, and remember to hit that bell button, because that's how YouTube knows that you actually want to watch a video that we make, and then it'll come into your inbox. If you don't hit that bell button, you may not get the notifications when a video comes out. So let's get started. Now, survival is absolutely necessary on this planet. It's not something we can avoid. If you have to put a piece of food in your mouth to feed yourself, that's survival. Last I checked, every one of us has to do that. So survival is absolutely necessary for the human condition to thrive. Well, let me clear up where survival should fit in our lives. Let's start off with the chart here, or the pyramid. You have at the bottom here your physical needs. Everybody has physiological needs, Everybody has physiological needs. They are things like food, water, warmth, rest. We all need these things in order to survive, and they're the basic needs right here, basic needs. So that's the sheer basics you need to be able to survive here. Once you have that, there's the next level, which is now safety becomes a priority. Once these are met, safety becomes the big deal. Your safety needs. You need to be secure and you need to be safe. And even those things that are at the bottom of the chart, your food, water, warmth, and rest, those things become more secure. And you're at a higher level of survival. And then once you have the basic needs addressed and well in hand, the next set of needs really become prominent. Now, all of them are always there, but if you're worried about where your next where your next meal is coming from, or where you're going to drink clean water, you're probably not going to be too worried about safety, because safety doesn't matter if you can't eat, or you can't sleep, or you don't have a comfortable place to be. So these have to be met for this to matter, and so on. Now, once those safety needs are met and those physiological needs are met, those are the basic needs, the next thing that becomes prominent is belongingness and love needs. If you can't see this, it's okay. Like I said, my penmanship is not great. You can just go to the internet and type in Maslow hierarchy of needs. You can probably do that now if you want to really kind of like see what this chart looks like. Now, your belongingness and love needs fall under the psychological needs. And to break them down a little bit, they're intimate relationships and friends and all that goes along with that. So there's a sense of belonging that we have. And those are needs, meaning they're not wants and they're not options. They're actually necessary for our survival and our sense of being and wellness. Absolutely. Every single one of these in this pyramid. So once your belongingness and love needs are met, by the way, we're still in survival. We're still in survival mode here. Then we see a higher level of existence, which is to satisfy our esteem needs. And those are things like prestige and a feeling of accomplishments. We feel good about ourselves because we have done things to contribute not only to ourselves, but to the greater community that we live in, and so on and so forth. If it's the village, you've done something that's vital for you, your family, and those around you. And that builds esteem. That builds a feeling of I am somebody, I am important, I'm not just here and as a bump on the log. So all of this, your physiological needs, your basic needs, and your psychological needs, they all fall under survival. Now, the purpose of being on planet Earth is so that once we have addressed all of these needs, your esteem needs, belongingness and love needs, safety needs, and your Physiological needs, in other words, to break them down very simply, once you've met your psychological needs and your basic needs, then it's time to do the thing that you came here to do. All right? It's time to do the things that you came here on planet Earth to do. So if you notice, many of us are in this one of these four categories. One of these four categories. And the reality that we're in is always trying to keep us in the lowest level of these categories possible so that we don't do this, because it doesn't benefit the consumerism and all of the self-absorbed things that our culture and society wants us to be a part of. But if you're down here, you will never get here, or it's more difficult. I should never say never, right? Never say never. It's more difficult to get to up here. And I'm going to talk about him. I'm saying up here because I don't want to name it yet, because I want us to still focus on these four right here just for a second. If you're in here, if you're in safety, that's all you're going to worry about. Am I safe? What do you hear a lot of people say now? With this magical thing that's happening around, with this magical virus that suddenly popped up and changed everything over the last year or so. What do you hear a lot of? Be safe. And where does that lay? Right down here. You're worried about being safe. You don't care about belongingness. There are people who don't even get together with their own family because of this. So if you're stuck here, you won't go here. You definitely won't even be in any kind of, you'll be way off from even coming here. Okay? So this is why being stuck in survival is not where you want to be. You want to get out of survival and have all of these four, your psychological needs and your basic needs, completely secure. Why? So that you can get to this part. Self-actualization. That's why you're here. That's the reason why you're here on Earth. To become self-actualized. Now, what does that mean? It means fulfilling your full potential. Creativity is at its most, is at its greatest. Flow in life. Doing the things that bring you the most joy. Doing the things that you want to do as opposed to things that you need to do, because those needs are already met and taken care of. Now, in that survival video, I talked about mindset. You have to, and the battle on planet Earth is for your mind. And the battle is to get you into a certain mindset. And your job is to get out of the survival mindset and get into the self-actualization mindset. Because this is where you will be physically at the highest level, emotionally at the peak level, psychologically at the highest levels, and spiritually, that's where you explode into greatness, where you're not only great in the reality that you're in, but you are great at a cosmic and universal level. When you're in the self-actualization mode, what you do flows throughout all realities. And what am I talking about? What are you talking about? Flow throughout all realities. We're not just meat and bones. We are spiritual beings first. And we're here to expand on in every aspect of our being. And we are also, many people use this term, I don't use it a lot because it's sort of, it's used a lot and not many people explain what it means. We are multi-dimensional beings, meaning that you exist here and you exist in other places, other parts and aspects of you. Now, most of us don't have that experience, and so I really don't like to that's one of the reasons why I don't really like to talk about it much. But If you are here, you will never realize that you're any of those things that I'm mentioning. Multidimensional, completely able to use your mind in a most powerful way, transform your life, create what you want, literally. And what I'm talking about when you're here does not require you to have any of the physical things that you think you need. When you're here, let me tell you what needs are here when you're in these 4 here. Having a family, that falls into here. That falls in this category. These 4: esteem, belonging, safety, and physiological. Saving for retirement so that you can be comfortable when you retire. That still falls in survival. And we spend about average 16 years in school, and then another in grade school from grade 1 all the way to 12. And then we spend another 4 years in college, some of us. That's 20 years, right? Or I should say that's 16 years. And then some of us might become doctors and lawyers. And so that's over 20 years just to be in one of these 4 categories. Because whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, a waitress, a teacher, a street sweeper, we're all in this category, because all of that is survival. All of that is survival. And then you have lower levels of survival and higher levels of survival. We're all still survivors. What you want to do is get into here. Ultimate creativity, ultimate flow, and living life to the fullest. When you're fully self-actualized, you think about it, you want it, and it happens. You are just a few self-actualized individuals. When I say a few, I'm talking a few. 1 or 2 in every 100 can shift the entire planet. That's why you never learn about this in any school. And you'll never learn about it in any place. No school, no institution, no church, no anything. No anything. So we are here to be, and again, self-actualized. And the way you do it is with mindset. You start with the mindset. It starts the engine. And you can start in any one of these places. You could be a person that's, you don't know where your next meal is coming from. You're trying to figure out where to rest your head that night. There are many people who have woken up, and waking up means simply to see the world as it is, without any kind of rose-colored glasses, without what the mainstream media tells you the world is, without what the neighbor down the street who tells everybody everything they need to know, according to her, whatever it is that she or he says. All of that is out. You simply, when you wake up, it simply means you have woken up and you have come to the realization of what's really going on in your life, in your community, and in the world. That's all waking up is. And you should wear that badge for about 2 weeks only, because waking up is only the beginning, and you should start doing the things that'll lift you up from just being awake to being and raising up to being self-actualized. So when you're awake, you're like a little plant. It's got 2 leaves on it. It's come out of the ground where it's dark from a seed, and it's woken up to the air and the sun and the light. And what does that plant do? If you came back and that plant that has just come out of the soil, 6 months later you come back and there were only still 2 leaves on it, you'd be wondering, why isn't this plant growing? It's the same with us. You're supposed to grow. Once you wake up, you grow. You start off with 2 leaves, then 3 leaves. Come back 6 months later, you've got 5, 6 leaves, little branches starting. Come back another year, you've got 10 leaves, come back another 2 or 3 years, you're a big plant and you're growing. And you're growing. So as you wake up, meaning you realize and you see things for what they really are, you then start making the adjustments so that you get to here. Because you can be awake and still be down here and stay down here. You can still be awake and stay down here. But when you're truly awake, you move through the paces. And you meet someone who's awake and you see them 1 year, they're a certain way, and you see them the next year and they keep and they keep changing and they keep changing and they keep changing and they keep changing, meaning they keep growing. Every time you see them, there's a new aspect to them. You're like, wow. So if you're in here, it's very hard for that growth to happen because you're always going to be pulled back down by one of these until you change the mindset, until you become so determined to get to your self-actualization, get to the reason why you're really here. You have the mindset that there is nothing that's going to stop you from getting to here. And in my case, I would rather die than not be self-actualized. That's actually where you have to be. You'd rather leave this planet than not be self-actualized. You'd rather leave the planet than not fulfill your full potential. Now, I'm not saying you should commit suicide or anything of that nature. I'm just saying that's the mindset you should have. I'm talking about mindset, just like in the first video. The mindset is very important. So, to just summarize very quickly, survival is necessary, and you should strive to secure your survival with the mindset that you're going to be self-actualized, and it'll happen. Your mind is that powerful that if you feel strongly about something, now this is something at the end here, if you don't remember anything I say, remember this. Your mind will fight to the last drop to defend anything, to defend your mindset. Whatever you feel is so primary in your life, whatever it is that you have in your mind that must happen, your mind will not give up until it happens. But it has to be strong. It has to be deep in your emotions. You have to feel. You have to feel it. You have to want it. It can be nothing. It has to be so solemnly clear that it's the only thing you're going to accept from your mind. And if you let self-actualization be that for you, don't worry about what's going on in your life. All of the solutions will come when the time is right. And then it's your job to take advantage of them. Because they'll come. As a matter of fact, they have come and they keep coming. But when you are mired in these 4 little layers, it's hard for you to see them. It's hard for you to see them. Unless you change the mindset that you're going here, and even if you're down here, if your mindset is right, you'll see the opportunities. No doubt. You'll see them. So again, we are here to get all this done so that we can ultimately become self-actualized, meaning well fulfilled and fulfilling all of our potential, whether that be creativity and whatever it is that you love doing. Whatever it is that you love, like desperately, like without a shadow of a doubt, chances are that's what you're here to do. You know, ask yourself the question, if I didn't have this, if I had enough money, if I had enough time, those are all false. Those are all illusions. Okay? If I had whatever it is you think you need, I would be this. That's probably what you're here to do. There's no secret. That's probably what you're here to do. And these would be the things that would prevent you from doing them. One of these, or all of them, or some of them. So all you need is the right mindset. It might take some people months. It might take people years. It's taken people a decade, 15 years. No matter how long it takes, you will get to this. There's nothing stopping you with the right mindset. Nothing whatsoever. So I hope that this clarifies everything and that this helps you, because that's why I'm here on this earth. This is my passion, to share what I've learned with others. That's my passion. Share, teach, whatever you want to call it. And if you have any questions, just write them down in the comments below and we'll address them. Joanna and I answer every comment that's put down there, and we appreciate your participation, because we like people who want to participate. We like those who don't participate either, but we especially have a preference for those who participate. Share, like, subscribe, and also, put some comments down below. Suggestions, we're always open to that. Anything you want to add to the video, we're always open to that as well. So thank you so much. And let's see, is there anything else that I need to say? Nope, I think that's it. So thank you so much, and remember to keep working on working within.